Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about tea. The magnetic clip on my microphone broke, so I'm using this little pointer finger. It works. I think I'm just going to glue the magnet to the base, like there's a, so this part is supposed to stick to the magnet, and then you can like use the lapel clip, but I've currently got it in the lapel clip over my finger. That just happened. That wasn't what I was going to talk about today. I'm talking about tea. Yes, baby. We have cats again, and I'm so very, very happy. One of them is very skittish and runs quite a bit, but she's starting to warm up to us. And then the other one, so she's about a year old. And then the other one is a kitten. She's about 3 months old, and she loves everybody. And it's delightful. We've had naps and we've had cuddles, and they meow all cute. The kitten did come with an upper respiratory infection, so we've also been chasing her around with antibiotics and ointment for the eyes, which is so terrible to have to put into a cat's face. It's just a whole thing. Hi, baby. So the kitten is Thyme, T-H-Y-M-E, like the herb. And the cat is Rosemary, also like the herb, though we call her Rosie quite a bit. Hey, don't you claw my couch! Don't you claw my couch! No, no, no. They're still learning. They've been here for almost 3 weeks. Got a bug? You get that bug. No, I think it's a fuzz. I think she got a fuzz. Hey, Thyme, want to come and say hello? That's not metal. Hey, baby. Come here. Oh. This is Thyme. Say hi to the camera, Thyme. Thyme's like, nope, not gonna do it. I know, baby. Rosemary, I don't know if you can hear me. I put the microphone down. Rosemary does not like it when we pick her up, so we don't yet. But kitten, absolutely. You're so tiny. All right, down you go. I did not intend to take off all summer. Right. Oh, God. She's right where I went to put my foot. And where I moved my foot was right on her tail. Yeah, you, look at you. You're right there. You're right in the way. All right, good. Thank you. I did not intend to take off all summer. And I don't really have a reason for it. Like, work was very stressful for reasons I won't get into. But nothing bad happened. Everybody's in fine health. With my daughter being home, we just did more things. We built Lego and played games, and we did more things together. Sometimes she came to work with me. Like, I don't have summers off. I'm a 12-month employee, so I was at work most of the time. But while she was here, we were doing stuff. And filming just didn't happen. And I'm sorry about that, but now that school is back in session, it's back in session for my daughter. My classes start next week. Then maybe I'll be able to start filming more frequently. So what I have here today is some tea. This is, my old eyes can't read it. It's really hard to hold a microphone. I'm so used to being able to use my hands. I can barely see you because these are reading glasses, but I can read things, and it's very exciting. This is Wild Mountain Witch's Brew from the Pharmacy Tea Company. They are based in Montana, I believe. I believe I read that now that I've said that. Yeah, Montana. We picked this tiny little bottle of tea up in our trip to Salem, Massachusetts. This came from Witch City Wicks. They had a bunch of teas. I only bought 2. So this one, Wild Mountain Witch's Brew, is, let me find where the ingredients are. Black tea, pomegranate, cherry stems, moringa, cocoa beans, cranberry, cornflower, safflower petals, and natural flavors. No preservatives, only the finest ingredients. They have a website, Montana Pharmacy. That's pharmacy with an F, not a PH. And yeah, I thought that one was cool. And then the other one I picked up is called Manifesti. And that is pu'er, apple, ginger, turmeric, dandelion, safflower, peach, and natural flavors. So I haven't decided which one we're gonna try right now. I think it's gonna be this one. I think we're going to try Wild Mountain Witch's Brew. I didn't show you this. Did I show you this one? I did show you this one. I'm having a day. So, Wild Mountain Witch's Brew. We're gonna try this tea today, and then we will try the other tea another day. Here is the tea that we are going to open. I need a stand for my microphone. This is really a thing. Open the seal, open this up. It smells chocolate. Is there chocolate in there? There is chocolate in there. All right, good. That's why it smells like chocolate. And then, as I recall, this is only a little bit, as I recall, this pot is only a little bit bigger than 1 cup of tea. So we're just gonna pour in an overflowing teaspoon. Echo, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
We had a fantastic trip to Salem this year. We stayed in town. We stayed at the Salem Inn, which is kind of like a bed and breakfast, only there's more kitchenette to it than you would normally find at a bed and breakfast. It was lovely. It was in a historic home right around the corner from Essex Street, which is like the main street where most of the shops and things are, like right around the corner from the Bewitched statue. It was fabulous. The room was very comfortable. There were codes on the main door and the outside door. It was all hands off. Like, we didn't see an authority from that particular inn except for in the breakfast room. And breakfast was like, they had a few options and you put in your order the day before and what time you were going to be there, and they would have a seat for you and prepare your meal right there. And it was just delightful. Off the street parking for people who were staying there at the inn, which was very nice. The time of year that we went, parking isn't super bad in Salem, but I have, what's the word I want to use? I have irrational anxiety about places to put my car. So I was really happy that we had a parking spot. Like, there was a lot dedicated to the people who were staying in that particular building. So we had a spot because there were enough spots. People staying there, guests, that's the word I'm looking for, guests had one spot that they could use. So the people staying there each had a parking space, which was great. And it was just very pleasant, pretty much in walkable distance of everywhere. The first day we went, we walked down the street to the witch house, which was fun. They just kind of call it that, I think, because it's in Salem, but no witches actually lived there. I think there was somebody who was a judge or something like that lived. I honestly don't remember. Look it up. It's there. Look it up. But it had a bunch of late 1600s artifacts and how people lived in their homes, and that was really nice. Right across the street from the Good Witch of Salem, which we needed on my daughter's birthday. She had a Good Witch transformation, which was very fun. But that was later. So the first day, we went to that museum and then walked to O'Neill's Irish pub for dinner, which was lovely. And then the next day, while we were in Massachusetts, we drove to Natick for Level 99. And I think I mentioned last year we went to Level 99, which is kind of like a big game room with a bunch of little escape rooms. And the puzzles are different. Some of them are physical challenges and some of them are mental challenges. And it's just super fun. I think they had like 40 rooms. Last year we bought 2 hours. This year, my mother-in-law came with us this year. So this year it was the 4 of us and we bought entire day passes and we were there for like 5 hours. And it was just so fun. So they have another location in Rhode Island and they just opened, like I think just last week, they opened a location in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, which is so much closer than New England. We are so very, very excited about this. We talked to, I think the manager there who was saying they were sending a team down to train the Virginia staff, and they had a whole bunch of different rooms and different challenges. So we're really looking forward to go. I don't know when we're going to get a chance to go, hopefully soon. We had originally thought about trying for this weekend, but I'm looking over there at the calendar. It's probably not going to be this weekend and probably not next weekend either. But we have some friends we want to bring with us. So yeah, anyway, Level 99. If there is one near you, go. It is fun. So then the next day of our trip was my daughter's birthday. We went to the Good Witch of Salem. We walked all over the place. I found a yarn store. I didn't have any, I mean, I always have need to buy yarn, but I didn't have any particular need to buy yarn on this trip, so I did not. We went to a couple places we had already been to and a bunch of new shops. And oh, when we came back from Level 99, we ate at the Village Tavern, I think is what it was called. And that was lovely. They were almost closed too. It was very late. Echo, stop timer. But it was really, really nice that they, took us so late. The kitchen wasn't closed yet, so of course they were going to take us. But that was lovely. I loved that we were right in town. We could go to some local restaurants and things like that. There's a little bit of tea leaf here in my cup. All right, so look at that. Really pretty kind of amber color. It still smells very much like chocolate. Oh, that's good. So the chocolate flavor is subtle. What else was in there? Pomegranate, cherry, cornflower, cranberry. So there's a hint of berry in this, but it's not overpowering. It's mostly chocolate. Not overpowering. It's not like chocolate. Technical term. Good. That's good. Well, that's lovely. So, new teas. I went way over budget on this trip. I bought so much stuff, new shops, all of that. And then after we got home, so we got home Friday. Saturday was our appointment at a cat cafe to play with the cats and the kittens. They don't put them together. So Rosemary and Time had never met before we adopted them. And we talked about it when we were going in, like, what about getting an adult and a kitten? And they were like, well, you can try it. I am not of the mind to return a cat unless there's something really extreme going on. So Rosie spent the first 24 hours absolutely hiding somewhere in the house. When I came back from work so we picked them up on Sunday. When I came back from work on Monday, I found where she was hiding. It was a weird spot too. Maybe one day I'll take you down to the basement and show you that. And then after that, she started to come out. So she let me pick her up once, but most of the time she just runs for cover. And that's okay. I understand that. And Time has been very affectionate, but now that we are like 5 days of giving her all of this medication, so At first I was hoping it was going to clear up. Like she was just sneezing a bunch and she had a little bit of gunk in her right eye. So I was going to let that go, but it got worse. She started to sneeze blood, and that's when I knew we needed some medical intervention to help that clear up. But she is doing much better. Like even after one day with her antibiotic and her eye ointment, she was running around and playing like a kitten and obviously feeling better. She's still sneezing, but it's very occasionally at this point, and I haven't seen any more blood in her sneezes, so yay. It also seems to have not passed to Rosemary, or Rosemary's immune system can handle it, or it's still gestating and we might have another upper respiratory infection soon. Nobody wants that. Medications are so miserable in cats. They really are. And the eye ointment, so I used to work at an animal hospital. The eye ointment isn't super easy. You've got to like open the eye and then you get the ointment on the tube and you kind of spread it over the eye, and it's, oh my gosh, it's one of the worst. The second worst thing to give a cat, of course, is a pill that they won't eat, or a liquid that is not flavored, a flavor that a cat would like. My previous cat, Luna, when she got very sick, she had toxoplasmosis. And one of the medications we had her on only came in liquid and only came in cherry. It was a nightmare. A nightmare. Oh, that poor cat. But we're on the end of it, so there's that. There are cats in my life again. I am so very, very joyful. My daughter is almost home from school, so I'm going to sit down with my Wild Mountain Witch's Brew. I had to look at it again. And I thought that was the bus alarm. Not yet, soon, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, bus alarm. Yeah, so thanks for joining me as we explore this new tea. Sometime soon, we'll look at the other new tea. Everything will get back on track. Grimoire Club will get back on track. I have a bunch of things to sew. I mentioned a while ago that I had a Halloween costume planned, and my daughter has asked me to do a costume with her. So I'm gonna, half of it's already made, so we're gonna do it later or next year or something like that. But I am gonna pivot, and I have some new stuff to sew. With the stress at work, to make a long story short, the building was closed. I couldn't get any sewing done this summer because the building was closed, but I'm back in the building this week, putting things back together. My classroom, my office, several classrooms and offices all had to be emptied and refloored and resealing tiled. There was asbestos that had to be taken care of. It was a whole thing. So the building opens to the public next week, just in time for classes, and I will be back in front of the sewing machine there. I didn't want to do it. I don't like sewing here at home because my craft room is an epic mess. That definitely needs to be addressed, but that is a problem for future me. Now me is just not going to do it right now. Okay, so new things to sew. I've got a costume. We'll talk about it later. Grimoire Club. We will get back into that. And more tea. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye.